Good morning, Bix Weir, roadtoruta.com. With your morning horn of Z's, your sip of coffee. Today we're going to talk about silver. A lot of people wondering why I talk so much about the cryptos now and don't talk as much about the silver and gold situation. I think I've said everything I need to say about silver and gold. What do you say when a market is rigged 100% of the time via computers and derivatives? There's no day that it trades that it's not rigged. I've showed you who rigs it, how it started, why they're doing it. I think the key thing now is why they're doing it. It's not to make money. It is to control the unbacked fiat monetary system such that the current unsustainable system is sustained. And the reason that they continue to allow the rigging of the gold and silver prices are the chaos. It's the chaos that would have been thrust upon us if gold and silver were allowed to trade freely, because it would destroy the monetary system, destroy all the banks, all the brokerage houses, all the monetary instruments, including derivatives. So it's a big deal. But at the same time, you got criminals abusing the system. So it's one of those things you have to figure out, okay, what's best for humanity? And so far, the only answer has been, if we destroy the monetary system, the current unbacked fiat corrupt system, up until 2009, the only choice was to go to a gold and silver standard, which is what has happened in past 3,000 years of monetary history. The problem is getting from here to there as far as a monetary silver or gold-backed system. Many millions, if not billions of people would have died, because without the constant flow of money, unbacked fiat money, everything would freeze up. There would be no food delivery, no gas delivery, no power. You wouldn't even be watching videos like this if the system were to collapse. And the reallocation of gold and silver as money, it just doesn't happen automatically. Maybe back before 1934 or so, everybody had gold and silver, so it was easy to go back to a gold and silver standard. There was no deciders. That was the default currency when things like the tulip bubble and the Mississippi land grants and the Confederate dollars, all that stuff that have collapsed in the past, Weimar Republic money, the Deutschmark, all that stuff that collapsed in the past, collapsed and everybody went to gold and silver because they still had it. It was still part of the monetary regime of the time. But now it's not. Nobody has any. Very few people have gold and silver. So the whole concept of whether or not we will use gold and silver as money has always been the problem. How do you do it? I mean, how do you allocate it, which is all about the Road to Ruta stuff. That's what Ruta talks about, is allocating the colored flowers. How do you allocate it? How do you inject trustworthiness if people, if you have to use a back type system? The dollar was once backed by gold. Dollar, the reality of what has gone on in the past cannot go on in the future, mainly because all the gold and silver has been taken out of the system, taken out of the public's hands, and now it's in the hands of just a few people. Gold and silver bugs as well. They will do well at some point if the system goes back to gold and silver standard, but it'd be very difficult because there's very little of it, and I think silver is needed in different places. So for, at least 50 years, probably close to 100 years, the United States has been struggling with this problem. In the U.S. Treasury and at the Fed and within our government, criminality is run rampant because the alternative is to destroy the system and destroy everything we know and have millions and billions of people die because they have no access to food, water, etc. It wouldn't take long. And then along comes the cryptocurrencies in 2009, and not right away, but over into the next few years. I think the good guys, as I call them, the guys trying to take out the banksters, saw that it's possible to get a system up and running parallel to the old corrupt system. And the more people that join into that parallel running system, it won't be a crash and then takeover of something else. It'll be right now we're moving along like this with everybody's still in the old system, but there's a new system springing up here with new companies, and they use different things for money. They use cryptocurrencies and tokens and electronic verifiable data. It is an electronic system, but it's nobody's liability, which is key. Like all our electronic money today, the majority of money that humanity uses today is electronic. But they're all based on a liability. You need a third party to still be solvent. And with Bitcoin, the cryptocurrencies, the tokens, you don't need a third party. It can function without any centralized authority because the whole community is agreeing to use the blockchain protocol, which is a trust machine. You can't lie on it because everybody verifies every transaction. So that's kind of what's going on. But in the meantime, they're still rigging silver. So I don't talk about it much because there's nothing much left to say. When the powers that control the price of silver, the U.S. Treasury basically has the ultimate control, decide to pull the plug, they will pull the plug. And when they pull the plug, the chaos will hit. Because instantly the banks will go down. Any bank that's short silver will be destroyed. That's why J.P. Morgan is almost completely eliminated its short position that it took over from Bear Stearns back in the crash of 2007, 2008. So that's kind of where it's going. So silver will stay under control until it's not. There are signs that the control is going to go away, and the biggest sign is that J.P. Morgan's electronic short position on the COMEX is the lowest it's been since it took over the Bear Stearns short. And they've been stockpiling physical silver. Absolutely stockpiling physical silver. Probably over, I would say it's well over 600 million ounces that Ted Butler suggests. But, nobody knows because they don't tell anybody. Anyway, let's just look at the price of silver real quick, just to know that I haven't forgotten about silver. It looks like it broke away from the latest slam. It's up over $16 again. Still a great time to load up if you've got crypto earnings and all that. Crypto's bottoming as well, so it's like, which one should I get in, the cryptos or silver? I think look at your concentrations. If you have mostly silver in your portfolio, yeah, it's a great time to sell silver and buy the cryptos. And vice versa. If you have mostly cryptos in your portfolio, it's a great time to sell some cryptos and buy silver. So they're both bottoming at the same time. Buy. If you aren't in either and you're in the stock market, the bond market, or anything like that, sell all of that and get in the silver and the cryptos. My personal advice, not advice. This is not investment advice. I'm not a certified investment advisor. Certified. I'm certifiable, but I'm not a certified investment advisor. Anyway, let's look at some historical charts. Usually the way the rigging goes, they'll start out the year and say, okay, where do we want it to go? They'll map out, the U.S. Treasury and the Fed will map out exactly where they want the price of silver to be, during what month, at what time, and then program it into their computer, hit run, and then they can go home because the silver price is fixed for the whole year. And it's so easy to do. If there's no regulators, it's so easy to do. And that's what they do. So here we are, December, for 2007, from January to December, that's what they decided. We're going to give these silver bugs a little bit of an up from $12 to $15, but we're not going to let it run because we had all that chaos going in, right? And then, it's just when this right in here is when the financial collapse hit. Look what was happening. They knew it was coming. They were slamming down silver, and it was down, 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 down. And right in here, the banks almost collapsed mid-September. And then it's just like all-out war. They're trying to hold it down. And then they know they can't hold it down for too long because you're going to run out of physical silver. So they're letting it go up in jumps and spurts in 2009 as well as 2010. Although this looks like more of a controlled drive up. If you notice, look at how flat it is, and then it starts moving. And then right here, January of 2011, the SWAT team leader for J.P. Morgan, a guy named Bill Dudley, was placed as Obama's right-hand man. He was the chief of staff for Obama for this year. They planned out exactly what they were going to do. They were going to run up via computer program at a 45-degree angle from the end of January to May 1st. Absolutely, that's what a computer program run looks like. So they run it up to there. Right in here, they start shorting. And then May 1st, we all know about the silver drive-by shooting, the slam down. And then it runs a little, it starts getting up again. Some people get excited, and then another slam down. And then you get December, and then January 1st, Bill Daley leaves the Obama administration. And that's exactly where the silver sentiment was destroyed and started the bear market, the artificial bear market in silver in 2011. It runs today. And if you look, it's still like year after year, it just goes down and down and down. Down and down and down. Silver's in a bear market. And last year it started to peak up, and then they slammed it again down and down and down. And then here we have 2017, clearly something that, everybody's like, oh, Trump's going to get in and free silver. Give me a break. Steve Mnuchin was his pick as Treasury Secretary. Steve Mnuchin is the computer programmer at Goldman Sachs in charge of rigging the markets via computer programs. So how would you expect anything different from a computer programmer who runs our Treasury? We are looking at pretty extreme lows here, so I don't think it'll last that long. But remember, these are the extreme lows, and JP Morgan has shed its practically 100%, not 100% yet, but close to net. They're way long silver because they have all that physical silver, but their net on the COMEX of the paper contracts is the lowest it's been since they took over the Bear Stearns short position. So yeah, I think JP Morgan's preparing for something big in the silver market. But they also, and I think the supply is short too, because they have stopped buying U.S. Silver Eagles. They were the largest buyer of U.S. Silver Eagles, and they would buy probably, I would guess, 10 to 20 million ounces per year for the last 6 years, and shove it away in their vault. The U.S. Mint used to list all the authorized dealers of coins, and then when J.P. Morgan took over the Bear Stearns short, the U.S. Mint stopped publishing that list because J.P. Morgan, the cheapest way to get silver coins from the U.S. Mint is to be an authorized dealer. So J.P. Morgan signed up as an authorized dealer. They took all the authorized dealer, the list of all of them away, and then J.P. Morgan, from 2008 all the way on to today, or to last year, really, to January, Silver Eagle sales were off the charts. The Mint would run out of Silver Eagles. And it was mostly J.P. Morgan doing that buying. And then something happened in January, coinciding with the Trump administration, but who knows about that. J.P. Morgan pretty much stopped buying U.S. Silver Eagles, and the numbers fell to almost nothing. A million coins. Usually these are 2, 3, 4, 5. We had years when we should have hit 50 million coins had the U.S. Mints not started allocating silver because they didn't have enough of it. But this year, nothing except May. You can see May took a kind of exciting thing there with a little over 2 million ounces. And it looks like July might even get to the 2 million ounce mark as well. But remember, the Silver Eagles for the past 5 years or so were all, well over 40 million ounces and trying to hit that 50 million ounces, except the years when they stopped the minting of U.S. Eagles because they run out, and then they go to allocation, and it's ridiculous, the whole thing. So, and these are Silver Eagle. This is the Silver Eagle total right here. The rest is gold and mostly gold, I think. Yeah, gold sales and silver sales, and then there's platinum. Nothing. They must have discontinued platinum. I'm not a big fan of platinum as a money. I'm a big fan in catalytic converters. But that's the silver bullion sales. And again, where do I think we're going? I think we're going. We're building. The good guys are helping in the cause, which should be great for all you cryptocurrency holders, because the good guys are not going to let it crash, let it get massively manipulated. Yes, it's turbulent. Yes, it's volatile. the volatility will go away after it rises, a lot more from now. So there is a floor on the cryptocurrencies, not all of them, but on the major ones, there's and that is held by the good guys. They're not going to let it go too low because they want that system to develop right alongside our current monetary system. So when the old system fails, we're going to have something to go to right away. And gold and silver are just not in the hands of the people. It would be too hard to implement something like that, and for no real reason. I mean, the cryptocurrencies are great. They're an amazing invention. I think gold will have a place somewhere in the monetary system. The problem with gold, as I've been saying for years, there's over 2 million tons of gold in the world. It's not 180,000, 190,000 tons. There's over 2 million tons. But there's still massively more unbacked electronic debt instruments that the world calls money. So yes, gold will go up in price in relation to the other forms of money today, but so will the cryptocurrencies. So it'll be interesting where that all goes, because gold, we're going to have a come to Jesus moment where every country actually admits how much gold they have. China, I would believe, has close to 500,000 tons of gold right now. The U.S., unknown. We have a lot in the ground. Probably 1,000,000 tons, 1.5 million tons in the ground. But we're not, they're all in natural wildlife preserves. They're in the Grand Canyon, the places you're not allowed to go in the Grand Canyon. There's caves in the Grand Canyon that have never been explored by humans, supposedly. And the Park Service will not let you go in there. They won't even let government presidents go in there and open the mining rights. Every president since Reagan has tried to get in there, and they just, no, you can't go in there. Bureau of Land Management has it locked down. Interesting. And they try to lock down a lot of things because they know we're about to change over to a different form of currency. And they think, at least in the past, they always thought we'd go back to gold and silver. But now with the cryptos, there's a real potential to make the transition without killing, half the population. So we'll see what happens. So anybody who, fights against the cryptos, think about what we're going to need when the banking system that we all want to go away finally does destroy itself, probably through derivatives. Think about the usefulness of cryptocurrencies in that situation. It really could save millions of people's lives, because we can easily transition over to a cryptocurrency. And you can trust them. That's the biggest thing. They're trust machines. Anyway, this is Bix Weir. I hope you liked this video. Don't forget to go to roadtoruta.com, sign up for the free public road. You get a free book. And if you join the paid private road membership, I am giving away $30 in Veritasium. Veritasium was up 50%, 40% in the last, I think, 24 hours or something like that. Something big is coming with Veri. Something very big is coming with Veri. And it'll just continue as these exchanges are so criminal, and Veritasium offers a solution to the criminality. So get your go to roadtoruta.com, sign up for the private road. You get a lot of inside information on what's going on behind the scenes, and you get $30 of Veritasium mailed to your front door on a paper wallet. You can't beat that. This is Bix Weir. We'll talk to you later.